Hey guys, Chicago injury lawyer Scott DeSalvo here, and I'm badly in need of a haircut. Look at this. This is getting crazy. Working a lot of hours right now because we had some staff turnover. We got new people in the office, and I'm training them. I like to train the heck out of people when they first come in for a couple of reasons. One is it lets me know, are they going to pick it up? Are they going to be able to do it, and do they have the drive to do it? And second of all, I like to get people up to speed as soon as possible. One of the things that matters most to people as far as job satisfaction is how good they are at their job. So I like to support people and train them and make sure they're good at their job right away so they get a sense of accomplishment and esteem, self esteem from doing a good job on the cases, which is a contrast from the way most lawyers do it, which is they hire people, they throw work at them, and then they yell at them when they screw the work up. Never made any sense to me. Got to train people and explain to them. Anyway, I digress. I digress with topics of employment and managing staff and my hair situation I got going on here. I promise I'll address this sooner rather than later. Today's video, the topic is, what if I already got a lawyer, but I want you to give me advice? Believe it or not, I get far more phone calls from people who never end up become clients than those that do, right? And I've also noticed a recent trend. I'm getting a lot of phone calls from people who already have a lawyer. And the first thing you need to understand is that ethically, I cannot give you legal advice for two reasons. One is, ethically, as a lawyer, I'm not allowed to interfere with the attorney client relationship. So if you have a lawyer and you're happy with your lawyer, I can't be coming in between that, right? And I tell people right up front, like, I can't give you legal advice. I can tell you generally how things work. But if you have a lawyer and you're happy with your lawyer is the one who's getting paid, not me. So ask your lawyer why things are the way they are. Now, I understand it. I don't mind if people call me with a general question, but a lot of people do call me and they say, oh, well, there's a $47,000 offer on my case. Should I take it? Well, like, how am I going to answer that question for you, buddy? How am I going to do that? I don't know any of the facts of your case other than what you tell me. And what you tell me is just a fraction of the things that a lawyer looks at when they're trying to decide what to do with a case. A lot of times, an injured person overlooks like flaws with the case that can reduce the value, or there's some additional factors in the case that really increase the value of the case. And without knowing that, I'm really doing you a disservice by telling you whether I think what your lawyer is doing is right or wrong, or whether you should take the money or not take the money, right? So, for two reasons. One, it's unethical for me to give you legal advice and interfere with your attorney client agreement. But the second reason is, it would be crazy for me to commit malpractice by giving you legal advice when I haven't even looked at your file, right? So, look, I can tell you how, without knowing your particular case, we can talk about the law generally, and I can explain it to you generally. And I guess I don't mind doing it, okay? I don't mind answering people's questions if they really do have a question. However, there's a limit to it, right? Like, I can't be a lawyer and service my clients and also stay on the phone with you for a half hour or an hour. If you already have a lawyer, that lawyer is going to get the fee on the case, and I'm doing the explaining that the guy who's getting paid should be doing for you. And so people say, oh, well, you explain better and you're nicer than my lawyer. Well, you got me there. I do explain things pretty well, and I am pretty nice, which is why I don't mind explaining things to people. But past a certain point, if you're calling me because you don't agree with your lawyer and you want me to, like, back up your feelings about the way your case is going, I can't do that, either ethically or just because I don't know the details of your case. This is what I do when somebody calls me up and they express dissatisfaction with their lawyer. I tell them, look, Most of the time, your lawyer's not calling you back because they're busy or they got a problem. Occasionally somebody calls me and, they tell me a story about their lawyer being a grade one jackass, right? Under those circumstances, if the relationship is broken down and you just don't want to work with them anymore, that's a completely different story. But I tell people, like, if you want to switch lawyers, that's got to be 100% your decision. It can't be based on you like me better in the YouTube videos. It can't be that I'm nicer to you on the telephone or I called you back right away. We do call people back right away, and we are nice to the people on the phone. And I spend a lot of time every day explaining things to people, which I don't mind doing because as an injured person and as a client, you deserve to know this stuff, right? But when it comes to calling me on the eve of a settlement on a case that another attorney has invested a year, 2, 3, 4 years in, knows the case backwards and forwards, and you're asking me to override their decision on the case or what they think you should do, boy, I'm not going to do that, because if I did, it would ultimately hurt your case, right? But if you want to switch lawyers, the first thing I do is I tell you what's the problem. I ask you what's the problem. And if you tell me, oh, well, he doesn't call me back fast enough, or, um, oh, he was on vacation one time when I wanted to talk to him. These sorts of things, in my opinion, unless something egregious is happening, these are just not good reasons to switch lawyers. Now, of course, you can switch lawyers at any time for any reason, right? Whether I think it's a good one or a bad one. But I will be honest with you, if you call me and say the reason you're mad at your lawyer is you called him and he didn't call you back within 30 minutes, I'm going to tell you, like, you want me to call the guy and smooth things over, it's probably better for you. The other thing to think about is if your case is on the eve of settlement, let's say your lawyer got you a $250,000 settlement and you initially agreed verbally, but now when it's time to come sign the papers, you're like, maybe I should hold out for more. Maybe 250 is not enough. This sort of thing. Your lawyer, no matter what ends up happening in your case, that lawyer who got you that money, who did all that work on the case, is going to end up getting a huge portion of the attorney's fees allotted in that case, no matter what. So, usually under those circumstances, I'll say, look, why don't you let me call the guy, explain to him your frustrations, then you call him and you make an appointment to go in and see him face to face or Zoom or over the telephone. But in circumstances like this, it's usually get in front of your lawyer face to face and smooth things over. And I have never had a client call me back when I've done something like that where the lawyer was shitty to him. Sorry for the curse word. I've never had a lawyer be crappy to the client. In fact, the lawyer usually appreciates my professionalism and my courtesy to them by calling them and telling them you're about to lose your client. And the client ends up happier too. Their case ends up resolving, things get smoothed over, nobody gives them a hard time. So, you know, that's not to say that if you got a lawyer who never calls you back, nobody calls you back, nobody keeps you apprised, nobody answers your questions, and you've decided you're fed up and you want to switch lawyers, that's something we can talk about, right? But, there are certain things I can do when we talk and certain things I can't or won't do. One is just steal a case for any reason or no reason, take over a case. Another is badmouth your lawyer. Another thing I won't do is tell you it's a good idea to switch lawyers right before trial or right when there's a big settlement offer on the table. Um, these are things that are just bad ideas. So I guess in conclusion, I'm happy to talk to you. If you have a lawyer, I'm happy to discuss general principles of law with you. But if it's a bad idea for you to switch lawyers or you're not interested in switching lawyers, it makes me wonder, why are you calling me? Why are you not talking to the guy or gal who's going to make money off your case? They're the ones in a position to know more about your file than me, and they're the ones who are getting paid, right? So why shouldn't they explain things to you? That's not to say I'm not happy to talk to people. I mean, I like to help people. I help a lot of people out for free. I put out this information for free to help people out because, a lot of people, they don't know a lot of this information about injury cases. And before they even think about hiring a lawyer, without a lot of this information, they'll do things that hurt their case before they even think about a lawsuit or an injury claim or hiring a lawyer. And that's by design because that's the way the insurance companies do it. They want to get you to sign papers, give a recorded statement before anything, before you even really have time to sit down and think it through. So that's why I do these videos to help people out, and I don't get paid for it. The only way I get paid is when a current and former client sends me a case, or somebody sees my ad, somebody sees my YouTube video, and they've got a case and they want to talk to me and they want to hire me. So anyway, that's the topic today in a nutshell. I appreciate you guys watching the video. Hope you and your family are well. If God forbid you or a loved one has been involved in an accident and you need legal advice or just have your questions answered, whether you hire a lawyer or not, please feel free to give me a call anytime, night or day, 312 500 4500. That's 312 500 4500. Give me a holler. If you're not ready to talk to a lawyer, I've got some really great tools on my website. One is the case cash calculator, tells you what your case might be worth. And then the other one is the good case calculator, and that tells you whether you might have a good case or whether you might have a case with some real challenges. Both of them are calculators that literally take like 15 seconds to do. It's like 6 multiple choice questions, and you get your information like that. No lawyer to talk to, nobody's going to call you, nobody's going to hassle you. Completely free, no obligation on my website. Leave the link in the description. If you enjoy the videos, please consider subscribing or give me a like on the video. If you think the video sucks, give me a thumbs down. If you have a question, leave a comment. And if you do subscribe, hit the bell icon so that you get notified when I shoot new videos. I usually release about 2 videos a week. Finally, if you enjoy my info, if you like my honest approach, my straightforward approach, you like the free information I give injured people, if you wouldn't mind giving me a 5-star review on Google, that would really help me out. I'll leave the link in the description. You just plug that link into a web browser on your cell phone, tablet, or computer. It'll take you right to the page. Click 5 stars, say a kind word, hit submit. 5 seconds for you, but invaluable for me. People really rely on those Google reviews to decide who to call. And so if you left me a good review, it would really help me out. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Scout's honor, I will go get a haircut tomorrow. I'm starting to look like a hippie. And I don't know, other than that, hope you and your family are well and that you never need to call me or any other injury lawyer. That would be nice, right? Sometimes life just gets in the way. So keep me in mind if you know anybody who might need an injury lawyer, whether it's workers' comp, car crash, fall down, dog bite, bar fight, nursing home abuse, medical malpractice. If it's an injury caused by another person to you or a loved one, I handle all those cases. And I'd be happy to talk to you and answer your questions, even if you don't have a case or even if you decide not to hire me. So anyway, give me a call if you want to, 312 500 4500. Otherwise, have a great day. Take care.